you have more gold and silver acquisitions by the world central banks and the sovereign wealth funds and the family offices and the commercial banks, and it's all coming from the top down and bleeding down the exchanges, and it hasn't found its way yet into the retail space, and I find it to be perplexing. I'm surprised it hasn't.
It's time to dive deep into the world of silver and gold with Andy Schetman. Buckle up, because today's discussion is nothing short of mind-blowing. The U.S. Geological Survey Division has dropped a bombshell, predicting that by 2028, our planet might just tap out on economically mineable silver reserves. But before you panic, don't forget that the story doesn't end there. Stay with us as we unravel this astonishing revelation and its potential ramifications for the silver and gold markets.
Let's see, what else we got to talk about today? Silver and gold. I found an interesting article. We may have talked about it before. It keeps popping up, and it is estimated by a branch of the U.S. government, the Geological Survey Division of the U.S. government, who has come out again and said that they estimate by 2028 the Earth will have completely run out of economically mineable silver reserves. Now, that doesn't mean that they're not going to explore. These are known reserves, and they say by 2028, that's what's going to happen. And that includes Mexico and Peru and the countries that are known for having so much silver. And with the price being so low for so long, the exploration side of mining for silver has really gotten hammered. And so how close are we to that moment? I listened to a very interesting interview the other day about why silver hasn't gone higher. And it kind of resembles what I have said, that the big money is using the suppression of the Western markets in order to accumulate as much as they possibly can. And once they've accumulated it all, and once no one will sell them anything at these absurd prices, you will see the price take off. And the analogy the gentleman made was that when you see new houses being built in an area, your house doesn't go up in value until all of those houses are filled and sold and filled with people. Then your house in that neighborhood goes up as well. And the same thing could be true here, where you talk about the very powerful elite want to sucker as many people as they can into letting go, giving up, capitulating, letting go of their silver at ridiculous prices. And I think that's exactly right. I think that's exactly what they are doing. They are using the suppression of the Western paper markets to accumulate metal. Yet we see China now, the price of gold is about 5% higher in China than it is in the United States on COMEX and the LBMA in London. So you have an arbitrage situation. Is this the opening shot across the bow for where they're playing their gold card now, where the arbitrage, and I'm sure they'll start doing this with silver as well, will just push all of the metal eastward to capitalize on that arbitrage. And that's one of the things we talked about with the Moscow exchange and said this is exactly how they would do it. You want to accumulate all the metal? Then make the price legit, at least much more legit than the COMEX and the LBMA really would let us on to believe is legit. So interesting times, in terms of metal accumulation. Look, you got the Silver Institute saying we're going to have, or last year we had a 240 million ounce shortfall in silver, a 51 million ounce shortfall in silver in terms of supply versus demand in 2021. What does this year look like? How many years can you continually run a deficit in mineable supply versus demand in an asset that is decreasing in nature? And the U.S. government says will all but be gone in 4 years, at least that which is of a known reserve. Yes, you can start exploring, but the time from exploration to production is years. And so is that why they're holding it down, even though we all know that it is such a strategic metal, not just industrial, not just monetary, but strategic? And I read another article last night talking about how much silver is used in nuclear submarines. You're talking thousands of tons. It's not just, or hundreds of tons per nuclear submarine, but when you use the entire naval fleet, tons and tons and tons and tons of silver in missiles and in nuclear submarines, in all forms of advanced military warfare applications. And so you put it all together, it is a strategic metal. So maybe it's Maybe it's someone within the U.S. government or an entity within the U.S. government that is withholding the silver, that is pulling it off the exchanges. Maybe that's part of it too. Maybe that's why, for the last 3 years, the amount of silver eagles that have been made were a fraction of what they have the ability to do. I don't know, but the more you go down these rabbit holes, the closer you see there is a fine line between conspiracy and reality. You have more gold and silver acquisitions by the world central banks and the sovereign wealth funds and the family offices and the commercial banks, and it's all coming from the top down and leading down the exchanges, and it hasn't found its way yet into the retail space, and I find it to be perplexing. I'm surprised it hasn't. I can only say so many times that you're not going to find a better opportunity to buy, if that's what you want to do, to protect yourself from what is coming. And if you don't see what's coming, you're really not paying very close attention. What you just said about this G30, C40, sorry. The C40 is startling. And a lot of the things that I was talking about 2-3 years ago, people probably thought that'll never happen. Just like people say we'll never lose the world reserve currency status. And, recency bias, normalcy bias, all of these things we talk about, you're going to start to see a change in attitude. And I think a real good example of that is, for the first time in 45 years, gold has less downside volatility than the U.S. Treasury market. What does that tell you? It tells you that this is a once-in-a-generation shift. And if the Chinese start playing this card of repricing gold and silver there much higher than the West, all of the metal will arbitrage from the West to the East. Is that why Jamie Dimon was recently in China to discuss this? Because it's not like Miles Franklin could start shipping gold and silver to China. But if you have the permits, like JP Morgan does, to trade all around the globe, well, you sure could take delivery on COMEX, take delivery off the LBMA, and ship it across the globe to Asia, where it will be more fairly priced. And once they own it all, then they control the price. So, yeah, it's one of these deals where it's a battle with your psyche, with your gut, when you see things behave the way they have in a world that's lost its bearings. But trust your gut, have strong fingertips, because little by little by little, the pieces all come together, or little by little by little, that Jenga tower is wobbling. And when that final piece is pulled, or when the puzzle is finally completed, the unions are in place, the security, the military is in place, the size and scope of the group is in place to where they could issue a common settlement currency. When all of these things are in place, it'll happen all at once. And until then, it will be a lonely existence, having the feelings that you do that no one understands. But I think they're starting to feel something's not right. And that's the first step. And where we go from here, I guess only time will tell, Dunnigan. But yeah, I'm just amazed at how fast things are happening, and the lack of real in-depth journalistic integrity in the mainstream that is really making it very difficult to have conversations with your friends and family who don't spend the time reading and viewing alternative media like you. The quality of content that you put out, the people you put on your show, is so much better than Fox, CNN, ABC, NBC, CBS. It's real news by people who have integrity. And I'll say it again, there does not have to be an environment where integrity and capitalistic intentions have to be mutually exclusive. You can want to run a good business. You can want to have successful business for your family, for future generations. I don't care how big your company is. You can also want to do right by people. And the people on your show, myself included, I know that is the case. And that's why I spend hours every day. I have 4 podcasts today, yours being the second. I got up at 6 in the morning, spent hours preparing. I stayed up last night till 1 in the morning preparing. I do this every single day. I don't have to. And I hope people get some benefit from the things that we talk about. But I will tell you, I am becoming more and more and more concerned. And I guess it's one of these deals where you just have to accept it. You have to accept things are changing and there's nothing we can do about it. And either you prepare and embrace it and prepare and survive, and maybe even potentially thrive a little bit. But I think we are heading into a period of time where the world will be a very different place, and people will look back on what you have done and hopefully what I've contributed a little bit, and be thankful that they listen, because the majority of people in this country do not have a clue what is bearing down upon them, and it's just getting started.
Thank you for joining us today for this eye-opening discussion with Andy Schetman about the future of silver and gold. The prospect of running out of economically minimal silver reserves by 2028 is a wake-up call for all of us. Remember, in times of change, there are always opportunities. Stay informed, stay vigilant, and stay tuned for more insights into the ever-evolving world of precious metals. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for the latest updates. Until next time, take care and keep stacking those precious metals.